在座很多不陌生，去年跟我们一起去家庭营为我们分享流利讲的非常流利的中文的一个老外，在中国服侍很多年内地会的一位同工。我们掌声有请我们的卢牧师。
各位主内弟兄姊妹平安。
平安。
谢谢你们给我不限用谢谢各位给我这位老干将近80岁的这种机会来分享神的话，谢谢。Our subject this morning is a rock in the middle of the Yellow River.
我们今天所讲的主题呢，是关于一块石头在黄河的中央。
As Chinese people, we have a very long history.
我们中国人历史源远流长。
And so we have many, many proverbs.
所以我们也有很多的成语和俗话。
And today's title is one of those proverbs.
今天我们讲到的题目呢，就是其中一个成语。
It's only 4 words long.
有4个字。
But it has a very good meaning.
它里面呢带出了非常好的意义。
Referring to the Yellow River.
它是关于黄河的一个成语。
The Yellow River is known as China's sorrow.
黄河呢，常常给我们中国的历史当中呢带来了很多的忧伤。
Because of all the flood damage that it has caused in many centuries.
因为这几千年当中，黄河的洪涝灾害对我们中国人是心中的一块痛。
Where the river passes through Henan province.
当黄河呢走经到河南省的时候
there is a famous rock in the middle of the main part of the river.
在那里有一块非常出名的石头，就在黄河主干道的中间。
And right there is a huge rock that has withstood every flood from the time that God created the world.
那块巨大的石头呢，经过几千年，自从上帝创造天地开始，那块石头在那边，到今天一直没有动过。
So originally, the proverb was used to refer to a good government official.
所以常常我们用到中流砥柱这个成语的时候，一开始是用作形容一个好的官员。
The kind of official whose loyalty and honesty could not be shaken.
有一些怎么样的官员呢？他是非常的忠心，非常的廉洁，他是不被影响的。
An official who was stable and obedient and courageous.
这个官员呢，他是勇敢的，他是非常稳定的，他是非常谦卑的。
No matter how difficult his circumstances or how great the pressure was, he stood firm like that great rock in the middle of the Yellow River.
这样的官员呢，无论是怎么样的挑战，无论周围遇到了怎样的困境的时候，他就像黄河当中一块石头一样，在那边不会撼动，不会因为周围的环境改变而撼动自己的立场。
So today, this proverb can be a great encouragement to Christians.
所以今天呢，我们用这个中流砥柱的成语呢，我觉得也是一个很大的鼓励，对我们今天的基督徒来讲。
And I thought of 2 reasons why it's a great help to us.
我今天想到两个重要的原因，跟大家一起分享。
It's a reminder that God is this kind of rock.
这是一个很好的提醒，提醒我们上帝就是这样的一颗石头。
And it's a challenge to us to also become rocks in the middle of the Yellow River.
从另外一个方面来讲的话，这也是一个挑战，对我们今天的信徒的一个挑战，让我们的信仰是不是能够成为黄河中这样一个不被撼动的石头
For us to be able to help other people keep on their feet in the storms and floods of life.
让我们是不是能够成为这样一颗石头，在风暴当中帮助周围的人，他的信仰不被挪移。
So the first point we're going to look at now.
所以今天我们看的第一点，
This is the encouragement.
这就是 我们的鼓励。
God is our immovable rock.
上帝是我们不可撼动的石头。
We read from Psalm 18.
在诗篇的18篇，
This psalm was a song of praise written by David.
在诗篇的18篇，这个诗篇呢是大卫君王大卫的一首诗。
As he looked back on his life,
当他
when he looked back on the years of his life,
所以当大卫呢回想起他过去这一生所经历的所有的事情，
you yourself today, as brothers and sisters in the Lord, may think that your experience in life has been very difficult.
有时候我们在座的每一位弟兄姐妹，有时候看到我们过去的一生所经历的很多困难的时候，我们可能觉得也不容易。
That your life has become painful and there's no way you can survive these kinds of pressures.
有时候我们生命中的一些痛苦，是让我们自己感觉到我们没有办法克服的，没有办法经过的。
But think about the circumstances of David's life.
那我们今天呢，来比较，来看一下大卫他这一生经历
And I
的事
went through the Bible to pick out some of the storms and floods that he faced.
我们就随便挑几个在大卫的一生中所遇到的风暴和洪水。
He began his life as a shepherd,
他刚刚开始的时候，他是一个小小的牧羊人，
and he had to learn how to fight with bears and wolves to protect his sheep.
牧羊人也不简单呐、为了保护羊的话，他要跟熊打仗。
When he was still a young person,
那当时他还是很小的一个小孩
he was a musician that was so good that he could calm King Saul when evil spirits began to influence him.
所以后来他是变成一个很好的音乐家。然后当那个扫罗王被邪灵所困扰的时候，他用音乐让扫罗王所平静下
In
来。
the whole country, there was only one person who was able to use music in this way.
在整一个国家里面，只有唯一像大卫一个人可以用音乐。
He was a soldier who had been engaged in many campaigns.
他是一个著名的战士，在各种的战场上面。
He had survived 6 murder attempts on him.
他这一生躲过了6次蓄意的谋杀。
He had lost some of his sons in war.
他的孩子在战场中失去生命。
David knew what it was to be afraid,
他知道什么是让他害怕的，
what it was to be homeless and to be hunted,
他知道他的被人家追杀的那种感觉，
what it was to be despised and betrayed by friends and family and even his own brothers.
他知道被排挤、被家人朋友背叛的那种感觉。
He also knew the deep pain and guilt when he sinned against God.
他知道，他也深深知道，当他在向上帝的祷告的时候，他内心中的苦毒，他内心中的罪。
And he knew about the joys of forgiveness.
但他知道从神而来的平安和喜乐。
So after passing through all the seasons of his life,
所以在他经过了这些年岁以后，
passing through the summer, the autumn, the winter, the spring of his life,
经过他这一生的春夏秋冬以后，
he could say those words in Psalm 18.
所以他就在诗篇的18篇呼唤出这样的一首赞美诗。
Full of confidence, he could say these words.
在那个时候，他是充满了自信的来写出了这篇诗篇。
God is my rock.
上帝是我的磐石，
He is my rock in the middle of all the floods I have experienced,
上帝是我的磐石，在我一切的困境当中，
of all the attacks I have experienced,
在所有别人对我的攻击的时候，
of the rivers of criticism that have flowed over me.
当无数的像洪水一样的批评来到我的身上的时候，
He knew at the end of his life that God had been the only rock that had given him stability.
在他生命的尾声的时候，他自信的知道，上帝是唯一的磐石，给他带来平安的、稳定的。
God gave him that stability and sanity and balance that he needed all through his life.
上帝给他稳定，上帝给他圣洁的生活，上帝给他平安的日子。
He knew that God, he wasn't a Chinese, but he knew that God was like the rock in the middle of the Yellow River.
大卫王虽然不是中国人，但他似乎就知道中流砥柱就好像黄河当中的那块磐石。
So turning to ourselves,
所以我们转过来看我们自己，
we all need this kind of a rock.
我们在我们生命当中都需要这样的磐石。
If David's world was an unstable, threatening world,
如果大卫的环境是一个非常充满危险的、不稳定的环境，
our world is very much the same.
我们今天所处的环境也没有一点更好。
Today, one leader's stubbornness,
如果今天我们一个国家领袖的固执，
像苏联的老大嘛，
Russian governor，
one leader's pride and ambition,
如果是这个国家一个国家的领袖的骄傲，
像北韩国的老大，
像金正恩，
or one Twitter,
就好像你发一个微博，发一个推文，
就是美国的那个专门就是天天
Trump 特朗普
any one of those things can unleash war.
这些小小的行为，很有可能都会造成世界的战争。
So we saw that yesterday.
我们看到这些事情在发生。
Britain, America, and France together dropping bombs on Syria.
英国、美国、法国联合起来，在叙利亚丢下炸弹。
叙利亚，
叙利亚丢下炸弹。
When you and I, when we face floods, we do our best to protect ourselves.
当我们人生当中遇到这样洪水的时候，我们自己会尽自己最大努力去保护自己。
We've had 5,000 years of experience in protecting ourselves.
我们中国人有5000年的经验来保护自己。
我们老外的经验没有那么丰富。So what do we do?
那我们应该做些什么？
When danger comes,
当危险来临的时候，
we move our money into other countries.
我们把我们的钱汇到国外去。
Or we buy a lot of property in Australia.
我们在澳洲买很多的房子，
Or we buy shares so that we can have the dividends from the shares.
我们买很多的股票，可以每天吃股息。
Or we put our money in the bank so we get the highest possible interest.
我们把钱放在利息最高的那家银行里面。
But if you watch the television and read the newspapers, you know that none of these traditional methods will give you the safety that you need.
如果今天你打开电视机，你读新闻，你就会知道这种传统的经济上面安全的方法，没有一个方法能够给我们真正的经济带来安全的。
You and I are like a man or a woman in the river.
我们就像在水中漂浮的人们。
You might not think that you are in any danger of drowning.
你们可能还没有感觉到，可能自己会要淹死的危险。
And those floods may come very unexpectedly.
但这些洪水呢，会在我们没有预期的时候来
And。suddenly you're in the midst of a huge waves of water coming down a river.
突然间，这边就会变成了一个洪水泛滥的地方。
And you look for something to hang on to.
我们就努力寻找一些东西，我们可以抓得住的。
And you see two little bits of rotten bamboo going past on the flood.
我们在这种环境当中，我们就看到几块小木板、小竹片在我们身边飘过。
And you reach out for those little bits of bamboo.
我们用自己最大的力量，就马上去抓住这些东西，能让自己不沉下去。
Useless.
没有用，
You're going to drown.
我们还是会淹死。
And in our Australian society and in the world,
在我们澳洲
those，floods are getting higher and higher.
在我们澳洲，也在这整个世界当中，洪水的危险越来越在升高当中。
There is much that can fill us with fear and anxiety and depression.
有太多的东西可以让我们心中充满了害怕，充满了忧虑，
It's easy to become bitter and negative about life.
而且非常容易让我们因为这社会的环境，一天一天变得更加的苦毒。
David had all of those experiences, good and bad.
然后我们记得大卫他是经历了这些所有的洪水，有好的也有不好的。
He survived flood after flood.
他在一场又一场的洪水之后，
And he knew that the only way he could remain alive, remain stable, was by clinging to God the rock.
经过这样一些风暴以后，他清楚的知道，唯一可以让他活下去的，就是紧紧抓住那颗不被移动的石头，就是上帝。
This is our first part of our message this morning.
这是我们今天早上的第一部分的信息。
Our God is like a great rock in the middle of the Yellow River.
我们上帝就好像在黄河支流当中永远不被移动的那一块石头一样。
And when those floods come,
当这些洪水来的时候，
or when you know they're going to come,
当我们可能知道它马上就要来的时候，
get onto that rock.
我们要
So swim over to that rock as fast as you can.
我们要紧紧去抓住这个石头，要用尽力量游过去，抓住那块不会动的石头。
这位磐石是我们的上帝，是我们唯一的。唯一的说依靠的，可以依靠的。
我们这位上帝是唯一是我们可以依靠的。
谢谢。That brings us to our second point this morning. We've only got 2 points, so they'll keep you awake.
我们今天早上就2点，所以你们不要睡着。
The other challenge, so the first part was an encouragement. God is like this great rock in the middle of the Yellow River.
所以第一点，大家今天一定要记得带回家的，就是上帝是在一切环境当中那块不会动的
But the
石头。
second thing this morning is that same thought, those same 4 words, that same proverb, a challenge to you and to me.
然后今天第二部分的信息呢，就是人就知道这个中流砥柱这个成语，但是呢是对我们的挑战。
We need to learn how to become what? God's little rocks.
我们要开始学习如何成为上帝。
God is the big rock.
上帝是大石头，我们是那个小
We
石
are
头
the。small ones.
小石头。
Now, some of you older people will know this history.
我们在座可能一些年长的就会知道这段历史。
In 1937, the Japanese army was flooding across China.
在1937年，当日军侵华开始的时候，
How could they be stopped?
当时中国人就想，怎么样才能挡住这些日军的？
The order came down to the generals of the Chinese army. The order came down.
对，在中国的军队当中呢，就有一道军令下来，
The order was
命令是这样子的：
blow up all the dikes that confine the Yellow River.
所以为了挡住日本人进到华中来，他们要把整个黄河的堤坝用炸药呢把它去炸掉，堤防把它炸掉，
堤防统统撤掉，
堤防撤掉。
so that the strength of the water that was released would drown or stop the Japanese army.
所以这些黄河的堤防被撤掉以后的话，这些洪水就会冲出来，然后呢，这些河流就可以把日本人给挡住。
It did stop the Japanese for a few months.
那的确，他们这样做了以后呢，把日本人进军的速度减慢了几个月。
But at the same time,
但同时
2 million Chinese people were drowned.
同时200万的中国人因为这个行动而被淹死在洪水当中。
11 cities and 4,000 villages were washed away.
当时11个城市、4000个村庄全部被洪水冲走。
The farmlands in 3 provinces of China were destroyed.
在3个省份的农田全部被冲走。
For those people who died,
那些在死在洪水当中的
were drowned.
都是淹死的。
There was no rock for them to cling to.
在这样环境没有石头。
Today, many people, you know,
今天我们
are also in desperate need of the stability or the salvation, if you like, that such a rock would bring to them.
今天我们身边的所有人，包括我们自己，就好像当时洪水当中的人，漂浮在那边，找不到一块可以抱的石头。
So we are called, as followers of Jesus Christ, to be one of God's little rocks.
所以在圣经中告诉我们，我们之所以成为基督徒，我们要成为耶稣的一块石头。
So that we can help the people who are caught up in Australia, in your suburb, who are caught up in floods, large and small.
所以我们可以在这个社会当中，去帮助周围的一些人，在洪水当中没有盼望、没有稳定的人。
In the Gospel of John, a man called Simon is brought by his brother to the Lord Jesus.
在约翰福音当中，一个门徒被他的哥哥带到了耶稣的面前。
His original name, the brother's original name was Simon.
他的原来的名字呢叫西门。
When he faced Jesus,
当他面对耶稣的时候，
Jesus said to him,
耶稣对他说
"You are Simon, the son of John.
你是西门西比泰的儿子，
But now you will be called Cephas, the rock."
然后我要称你为西法，就是一个小石头的意思，基法，磐石的意思。
So Peter's name was changed when he met God.
所以彼得当他遇到耶稣的时候，他的名字被改变了。
And instead of jumping into the sea to catch fish, was what he used to do.
所以彼得呢，以前他是在河里面捕鱼为生的。
He had to save people who were caught up in the tragedies of their personal lives.
所以从此以后，他的生命轨迹改变，而变的是要在这个在沉默的这个人群当中，把人从洪水当中救出来。
And later on, Peter wrote one of the books, two of the books in the Bible.
所以在后来，彼得在圣经当中写了彼得前书和后书。
And in the first book that Peter wrote,
在他的前书里面，他这样写道
he calls people like you and like me living stones.
所以我们都是活着的石头。
And living stone, he tells us as living stones what we should do.
他并且说了活石应该做什么。
Now, if you're taking notes, that is 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 4 and 5.
如果你在做笔记的话呢，那是彼得前书第二章第4到第5节。
So we too have an opportunity to help those, especially the ones that are closest to us.
所以我们也跟彼得一样，今天在我们身边有很多这样的人需要我们去帮助。
If we can remain calm
我们能够在这样环境当中变得平静，
and open our eyes up
睁开我们的眼睛，
and ask Jesus to soften our hearts,
去问耶稣来帮助我们软化我们的心灵。
there are many opportunities to help the people that we meet every day.
那我们身边就有无数的机会，有许多人他需要被我们这样去帮助到。
Last night,
昨天晚上，
probably a 60-year-old Chinese lady came to visit us.
6岁的女孩子来拜访
60
岁的一个老人家对来拜访 Brian 牧师。
All her life, she has been healthy.
她这一生都非常健康。
She has enough spirit to run around the world several times.
她几乎可以环球旅行做好多次。
She goes to the doctor.
她去了医生的地方，
Cancer.
查出来癌症。
The flood has hit her.
在生命中洪水就开始淹没了她。
Can she survive in the flood?
她能够在这样的洪水当中活下来吗？
Is she hanging on to God, the great rock, tightly enough?
她有没有抓住上帝，就好像抓住这块不会动的石头一样？
Rocks that can help people like that are hard to find.
中流砥柱就可以帮助这样世上的人行。
People are drowning all around us, just as they did in that great flood when the Yellow River was released.
所有我们在身边的世上的灵魂，就好像在洪水当中淹没的人群。
Most do not have God, the rock, to hang on to.
大部分人他没有上帝这块磐石可以让他们去抓紧的。
They try, and in the middle of the flood, they try to hang on to many rocks, many pieces of trees that are drifting past.
在洪水当中，他们使尽了一切的力量，抓到身边一切可以帮助他们扶着的，无论是木板，无论是竹条。
But they cannot find an immovable rock to climb up onto.
他们找不到一颗不会移动的石头，他们
And they're swept away by the powerful currents of the Yellow River.
很快，这些漂浮物跟他们一起被洪水冲得不见。
Think of your family.
我们想想我们的家人，
Is there pain and loneliness in your marriage?
想想我们在我们婚姻当中有没有孤单，有没有苦毒？
Are you weeping because of the decisions that your children are making?
我们有没有时候悲伤，因为我们孩子做一些叛逆的决定？
Are you struggling to meet the expectations of parents and grandparents?
我们有没有因为父母对我们有很高的期望而感到压力和难过呢？
Are you concerned about your employment and financial security?
我们有没有因为我们找不到工作，因为我们经济上的而感到忧虑呢？
These floods, large and small, are common to all of us.
这些洪水有时候大，有时候小，对我们每一个人来讲稀松平常。
These things happen to Christians, they happen to non-Christians.
这个对我们基督徒来讲是一样，对非基督徒来讲也是每天的面对。
So often we make decisions that destroy ourselves and our families.
但我们要常常做一些决定，错误的决定，毁坏了我们自己，毁坏了我们家庭。
We need that great rock.
我们需要这个不可撼动的石头。
And many people
很多人，
need the rock that we have, to know about the rock that we have.
很多人都需要这样一颗石头，这个石头是我们所有的。
This morning I came to the church on the train.
所以我来到教会，搭火车过来，
Beside, behind me, there were 3 full people.
在我后面有 three women，
They were talking in Mandarin.
他们在讨论一些事情，
So I listened for a while,
我就听了一下，
because they were behind me.
因为他们就在我们后面讨论。
So then I turned around and said,
Oh.
your Chinese is very good.
那我回过头来，他们就说你中文讲得很好，
So they laughed.
他们就笑了。
But we meet people casually, and often those people, we are brave enough to begin a conversation. We find that they are having problems in their lives.
我们身边有很多这样的人，当我们有意无意有勇气跟他们谈话的时候，我们就看到他们生命中有很多的问题。
And as well, just think Australia, right? As Australia gets weaker,
我们讲澳大利亚，就澳大利亚现在各方面变得越来越弱，
as our government is more or is less and less efficient,
我们的政府变得非常的没有效率。
there are going to be many opportunities for you and for me to be a rock to those who are suffering.
在这样一个很多人在痛苦，在这样的环境中所找不到方向的人，我们是一个很重要的磐石。
So those are the 2 things I wanted to share with you this morning.
所以今天早上我想跟大家分享的就是这样2点。
God Himself is our immovable rock.
第一点，上帝对我们来讲，他是中流砥柱，
Now that is a big encouragement.
这是一个非常大的鼓励。
If you don't know Him yet,
如果你还不认识他，
if you haven't experienced the stability that He can give to you,
你还没有经历在他里面所能得到的这样的稳定，
you have an opportunity this morning.
今天早上你就有这样的机会。
Talk to our honourable translator.
我们会后可以跟我一起上舞蹈班，
Talk to 这位可怜的老外
也可以找这个Brian 聊天。
or other mature Christians in the congregation.
我们教会而且有很多很成熟的基督徒，你可以跟他们咨询。
So we have an encouragement, a reminder.
这是我们第一个提醒。
And then we have that challenge.
我们也有第2个，就是挑战。
We, that is you and me, are we willing to be God's rocks?
你们，今天我们所有人，是不是愿意成为上帝的石头？
So many people need a reliable person,
很多人需要一个可以诚实可靠的人，
a stable person,
一个稳定的人，
a humble person,
一个谦卑的人。
that they can go to with confidence and know that they will receive encouragement.
他们可以过去，可以找到这样一个人，跟他沟通，跟他聊天，也知道在这种人身上，他们能够找到安慰。
This is something that not just these young, 前途光明的 can do. It's not just that he can do it.
这不是某一些人可以做， 不是单单某是每一个人都可以做的。
不是这位优秀的青年，前途光明的青年哈，不是他单单他的责任。
这不是教会当中某一个人、某几个人的责任。
Whether we are old,
我们年长的，
like the old brother sitting in front
在
of
这
me.
边看起来很年轻的这位年长的弟兄坐在这里。
Whether you are young, like these young people over here.
我们有这比较年轻的弟兄姐妹在坐在这里。
You can be a rock for God.
你们都可以在你们生活中成为上帝的石头。
谢谢各位。
感谢主。